Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads. I'm your brother, big brother, boss, aka the Funky Monk, and welcome to the show, y'all. Welcome back to all my friends. Well, all our friends, welcome to the new folks here. What's up, Tony? I see you there, man. Like I said, every day we get started. Every Wednesday we're here. We're here sometimes about 7, sometimes it's 7-ish. How is everyone doing tonight? Go ahead and share this out with your friends. Grab your motherfucking blunt, your uh grab your blunt, go ahead and grab your drink. We're about to get started. Man, thank you for joining us here. And excuse me. Ooh wee. All right, and Candy will be in a second. She is running a little late tonight, so y'all are stuck with me. But hey, we still gonna get it started here, y'all. So, what we're gonna do right now is take a moment of silence and blaze. new pipe, new pipe alert. Excuse me. All right, man. Ooh, that was a strong hit. That is my new bubbler pipe. Haven't got a name for it yet, y'all. But I did get this piece at the smoke shop over on Rancho in Charleston here in Las Vegas in the Smith's parking lot. It's just called the smoke shop. Doesn't have any name in particular. And man, let us know what you're smoking, where you're listening from tonight. In my pipe, y'all. Okay. I was told I had to breathe. And I am already a little lit tonight, y'all. But Mr. Bubbly, that might be a good one. That might be a good one. Um But welcome to the show. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know where you are um, watching or listening from tonight. Now, the strain I was just smoking in there is Durban Poison, y'all. And Durban Poison is a sativa dominant hybrid. It is very sativa for those who partake in, for those who are sativa folks. It is one of the best sativas, if you will, and in its purest form, it is the strongest strain they know. Um, and I learned a couple of weeks ago that Durban Poison isn't even from the Durban region in the Middle East. It actually originated somewhere in Jamaica, and that was a little fact that I had learned. So I actually love Durban Poison, and when it's and it all depends on the farm that grows it. Durban Poison is available at most dispensaries in your area. It is one of those things they should have on hand. I actually gave this Durban Poison 4.5 blunts. It's actually one of the best strains. Like I said, it smokes real well. Sometimes it does hit a little rough, but it is a smooth smoke. I would suggest, as always, you smoke it out of a bong or a pipe. Also, the Select brand, when they do have it in stock, the Select brand concentrates, their Durban Poison is off the chain. Here in Las Vegas, the New Woo dispensary, when they have Durban Poison, that is a very good strain to pick up from them, no matter where you are. I'm not getting paid for that. I'm just saying The best Durban Poison I've got is from Nulu Dispensary. So, sorry, Tony. Sorry, man. I get it, man. It's a 420 review. My bad. Right now, it is just me on the thing. I did change that title up for you. But that is the Durban Poison strain. It is a very good strain. It is good for beginners in small doses. For those who are seasoned smokers, it still smokes pretty good. It is an everyday strain for those who smoke well. For those who are beginning and intermediate, hey, your mileage may vary. But for me, this is a good everyday smoke. Whenever you have it, it's good to smoke with friends. It's a sativa, so it's a head high, and helps you be creative, but it also is good for conversation. I think I talk a lot when when I do this. So it is one of those fun things. So let me know what you're smoking. If you smoke Durban Poison, let me know what you think about it in the comments. And we're going to move on to our strain of the week, y'all. Our strain of the week this week is Khalifa Kush. And it is grown here. Well, I should say here in Las Vegas. It is grown at the Reef Dispensary. It used to be exclusive to Reef. Now you can catch it in other parts of here in Las Vegas and wherever in your area they sell it. Khalifa Kush is named after the rapper Wiz Khalifa. It is a indica dominant hybrid. I personally, when I smoke it, when I first started smoking, like when it first came out, when it was first released, it was leaning very indica. It was a very indica strain, and when you smoked it, it was giving indica vibes. Now, depending on the batch, you will get a nice indica feel to it, but you'll also get that head high because there are hybrids. Hey, Candy, what's going on, y'all?
Hi, I just made it. Sorry, guys, I was late. I was stuck in a line.
Oh man!
But I'm here now, and
Yes.
I know y'all
Well, the way
just.
your picture looks like you should have said "We're here."
Oh yeah, we're here. Me and the girls. Me and the girls finally made it.
Oh man!
Yeah, I just threw the damn blunt in the damn purse. Hold on, let me see. Bye. Yippee. All
Yeah.
right, let me catch up with y'all. And I feel like you were just talking about the strains.
Yeah,
So
straight of the week, which is Khalifa Kush.
Khalifa could.
And
Okay, I'm
yeah,
smoking
Khalifa,
ones.
named after Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa. You haven't tried it yet?
No, I don't know. I don't think I have. Like that knowingly. I don't knowingly think that I have. But um, I'm definitely down to try it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think that I've tried Khalifa could.
Normally you can grab it over at Reef.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm probably talking to you that night, y'all, because I didn't lubricate.
You didn't lubricate your area?
No, I didn't lubricate. Damn.
Ooh, and I got some
Man.
munchies I'm gonna try online.
All right.
I'm gonna show you because I think you're gonna fuck with it. I seen these at Walmart yesterday when I went to the store. Look at this. Look at this, y'all.
Oh no, Cas bars.
Look at that. Look
Oh
what's
yeah.
in it. Look what chocolate, caramel, all it looks like a little, and it's got little like bits in it. Like y'all just trying to keep us fat. Y'all trying to keep. I broke my wine. It's
Oh
okay.
man. Hey.
I have it.
Hey. You gotta turn lemon into lemonade. Now you got two.
Now I got two. Right.
Now you said you are smoking runts tonight. Is that the black runts I gave you last week, or?
Those are the black runts you gave me, and I still have them here. You know,
Oh, no
like
worries.
so. It's been getting smoked. It's been getting smoked. So,
All right, and you gave that. I want to say you gave that 5 blunts. Let me look at my notes here.
I think I gave it 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5, or did I give it 5?
Hey, you don't know, we potheads. You know how that works.
I don't remember. I'll give some a review and then
All right,
complete.
you gave it a 4. You gave it a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
You gave it a 4, and it was it's runts, which is a hybrid. And I'm gonna tell y'all, although sometimes they say it leans indica, most of the time when you get runts normally runs, to me, in my opinion, 50-50. Your mileage may vary. It is most dispensaries here in Las Vegas, as well as dispensaries where you live, should have runts in different varieties,
Yeah.
across the board, in different varieties, with different with varying degrees of either indica or sativas.
Yeah.
You know, so it all depends on which one you're smoking and the effect you get. But runts is normally available in all your dispensaries. And for those who still get it, who still buy their weed on the black market, depending on the time of the year, most weed men are giving you runts.
Yeah.
You know, so I know you can't go to your weed man and say, "Hey, what's this?" Your weed man don't know. But most of the time, it's runts. I know that from a friend. A friend knows what's selling out there in the streets. It is runts. Runts is quick to grow. It's a quick grow. It's a quick dry. That way, it gets back to the streets faster. Hey, however you buy your weed, I'm not gonna judge. Just don't get caught. Don't
Yeah.
judge how you buy your weed, y'all. Um, but I do suggest a dispensary if you want to get like numbers and things like that.
Right.
You got 4.5. You got 4 on that. Why 4? It just
It's good. It definitely. I couldn't. Sometimes I felt like it was making me sleepy. So that made me think it was more of an indica.
okay.
But it's not bad. It just wasn't. It just made me more relaxed more than anything. It wasn't like it was terrible. Like I've been smoking it. But I felt like it was. I don't know if I was just tired or if it was just making me drowsy. So that's why I gave it a 4. And run's just it's like a mid to me. It's not really a like one of those that like I mean I've had good runs before, and this is a good run too. But I feel like runs as a whole I would never give like I think over a 4. I think just period. Just because they runs.
Yeah, runs as a whole, I do try to avoid. One of the main reasons I do try to avoid runs is it's a quick high.
Yeah.
Don't trust me. It hits hard. It hits fast. But sometimes the high just doesn't stay long enough for my liking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I always say your mileage may vary. It just doesn't run. Runs. Yeah, that's exactly what Tony just said. Runts are for runts. You know what I mean? It's a very, like you said, it's very mid. Depending on the bag where who you get it from, it varies. It just different growers, different strengths. Runts is very mid, and it's your average, what I would call everyday smoke. This is something that you would just smoke it every day.
Yeah, and that's what I do. So, I mean, it's just it'll get you there. Like it's very good for people who just started smoking. Like maybe you don't want to be, you don't know your threshold, and you don't want to be that high. I'd probably start off with that. I'd probably definitely start off or recommend runs. Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I am too. Now, runs is basically if you're an indica person, it's what I call a runner or a chaser. So if you got some good indica, and you start feeling your high coming down. Runts are feeling that void as your high is coming down. Um, it's a good maintenance. What I'm talking about. If you want to maintain your high, runts is where it's at. And I'm talking about for our experienced smokers, for those who are beginners to just like um, casual smokers, then I would just suggest this is just an everyday strain that you fuck around with. Tony
Yeah.
said he would give it a 3.5. Let us know what you think about Ruts in the
Yeah.
comments, y'all.
It hits
Let us know.
everybody different. You might like it. You know, it might be the thing for you. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's why I always I'm gonna start using that word now, or that phrase now. Your mileage may vary, just the
yeah.
way the fact that marijuana actually um, hits people different ways. So definitely, runts is one of those average things. I would suggest it for beginners because it won't keep you that high long. It's not hocus pocus. It just don't disappear. It just doesn't last
Yeah.
as long. Some of the other strains that I like to enjoy. Now,
Yeah.
y'all, we gonna get to the good stuff. Um, and today is gonna be that social justice show, y'all. Today is gonna be that show where we gonna
We
talk
gotta
about a
do
lot
it.
of shit,
We
and
gotta
we
do
doing
it.
it because this is what we are. We potheads, but we also gotta remember that we got some our brothers and sisters who missed this what we call pot rush right now. What's going on? And and they're either incarcerated or in some form of probation over marijuana. And this is in places where weed is legal.
Yeah.
So, one thing I want to ask you guys is that in places where marijuana is legal, should clemency and pardons be granted to those convicted of marijuana offenses? Now, let me preface that by saying if you were trafficking, and I mean trafficking weed, I feel you have to do your time. You have to do the time because it is still illegal to traffic weed. Okay. But if
Mm-hmm.
you got caught with small amounts, because some people are, right now you're allowed to have up to 4 ounces on your
In
person.
person. Yeah.
Um, but there are people out there who got caught with a dime bag, a gram, a three, an eighth, and they got convicted. Some of them are serving time. Some states have um, some states have mandatory sentencing, and so all of a sudden you got these people, our brothers and sisters. And when I say brothers and sisters, I mean everybody across the spectrum, y'all. They're in prison while it's legal in their state, and they're still serving time. And I believe if it was a nonviolent offense, if it was small amounts, and we're not talking about, you moving keys in your trunk, that's a different story. But you just bought an ounce, and normally ounces are for personal use. You weren't trying to sell it. You just trying to go home and get high. If you are in that category, I
Excuse
believe,
me.
bless you, I believe you should be pardoned if marijuana is legal in your state. Now, Biden tried to appease some folks by setting up this whole clemency thing and pardoning thing, but, and I'm going to say it didn't do enough on the federal level. Those who are in prison, what was it? Had to be a very small amount, like they found a joint on you or
Yeah.
something it was something very, very, it was helpful, but it didn't affect the population of those who are still in prison for these weed offenses on the state level. And a lot of times it's only going to affect those on the federal level. And I would really like to make sure that I think they're trying to decriminalize it, but it also needs to change it also needs to change its scheduling with the DEA. It needs to go from
Well,
illicit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, you have like states that like California that have the three strikes law,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that there may. I mean, we could start with the modifications there. because I mean, not even just weed offenses. Like I know we're getting off, into something else, but specifically weed, definitely if it's illegal in the state now. I mean, you do have to walk a fine line with that because,
Yes.
most some would argue, you know, if you're a person that's constantly, into it, you're on your third strike. Like, that this is the
Yeah.
third one. You knew what the stakes were. But for weed offenses specifically, I think that maybe there need to be some modification with that because,
Um,
like, yeah, I might have got caught moving weight, my
mhm.
first offense. And then, maybe I tried in my second offense or got busted doing something my second offense. But, maybe y'all just caught me, back when it was illegal going to get, or something I
Third
had.
offense, third offense
And
was
now
just
all of a
simple.
sudden I gotta go away for life. Like to me,
Yeah.
those are things that we probably need to amend with those laws. But I think three strikes needs to be thrown out anyway.
Yeah.
Period.
It does.
But
I get it.
yeah,
It does. And like I said, like you just mentioned, that third strike is normally a simple offense. You know what
simple.
I mean?
Not even a felony. And if it stood on its own.
Yeah.
So
And there are different reasonings behind three strikes. As you know, one of the people, and I'm gonna tell you guys this ironically, three strikes was supported by Joe Biden when he was in Congress,
yeah,
and then from who enforced it, who was the Attorney General of California,
his running mate,
Kamala
his
Harris.
his vice president. Yes, yes,
Okay, now Biden has been sort of trying to right some of the wrongs he made in the 80s and 90s.
yeah.
Um, Kamala, she just said she had to do her job,
Yeah, and
and
I feel like I mean I get it. You are the general attorney general,
mhm.
but she does scapegoat that a lot. She does. It
State
was a lot
attorney.
of her
That's what
doing.
she is. She
Yeah,
was the
state
state attorney.
attorney. Yeah, state attorney, not attorney general. Excuse me. But yeah, she I think we really don't hear too much from her. We haven't really heard much from her since then. But I do see Biden trying to make amends for a lot of things that he said and a lot of the ways that he moved back in
Yeah.
Congress.
Yeah, three strikes. You need to have it modified. You also need to make sure that on the prosecutor side, they don't railroad those who are on a third strike for simple shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They say you commit a third crime, not a felony. Sometimes they say so. It's at the discretion of
you could be
judges.
jaywalking. You literally could just be jaywalking, just running across the street real fast. Police pull you up. Because that's definitely a ticket that's a big ticket in Los Angeles, and they will give it to you.
For sure. And sorry.
No, try one of these now. I'm hungry, y'all.
Sorry, y'all. Somebody just hit me in my DMs. This y'all, like I said, is a bubbler,
And it's
and
hitting
I got
too.
that. Huh?
I said it
It's
sounds
hitting
like
good.
it's hitting.
It's hitting hard. But yeah, I got that at the smoke shop for those who live in Vegas over on Charleston and Rancho.
Mm,
And we determined last week it's just called the smoke shop. But
mm.
the reality, y'all, is that on a level where we're smoking marijuana in the states where it's legal, I believe that there should be some sort of pardon process, a clemency process, where these sentences are commuted and these people are released from prison if that was the offense that got them there.
Or at least
Some
retry
people
it,
determine,
at least get put back on the docket or something, maybe
yeah, but
give them a chance.
also, yeah, those who just had it on their thing, it gets knocked off along with the
Yeah,
time. You might get time
yeah,
served for it. But those who have combined sentences, not much we can do for y'all. But on another level, if we felt you were convicted wrongly, then ahead, use the system and resources you have. But if you're, these are for like simple possession cases, folks who just got caught out there,
yeah,
whether it's third strike, first strike, whatever. I believe weed should not be illegal. Should be regulated, and make that way. Like here in Nevada, you got to be 21 to walk to a dispensary. You got to be 21 to possess it. I do believe now there was a new law that just got signed, talking about how, and I think it was for consumption lounges, that
yeah,
it's up to those who work at or who work in cannabis related industries. They have to do what they can to make sure everybody who consumes and buys marijuana is 21 years of age.
yeah,
And I do believe the reason the law was signed in because here in Nevada they have a couple of things. They have the compliance board, and that's the board that's put in place to make sure that all dispensaries are in compliance. I believe this law was made simply as because it needed to be made a law. It needed to be codified as a Nevada state law as opposed to a just a compliance issue. You know what I
right.
mean? A policy. So that's definitely what it is. But back to what I was saying, let us know what you think
Yes,
about
please.
those who are in states where marijuana is legal. Excuse me. Those who where marijuana is legal, should people be pardoned for these types of offenses due to the fact that it's legal and it is more socially acceptable now?
Yeah,
Okay. There are certain things we do in life where, back in the 90s, there were certain things that were more socially acceptable, but they were still wrong. Here, marijuana smoking, if you are of age and you know how to handle yourself, you should always just be able to smoke. Do your whatever your drug of choice is. I'm not gonna judge. Don't do crack.
don't do crack. Don't do meth. Don't do crack.
Yeah, don't do that.
Leave fentanyl completely out of
That's a personal opinion. Smoke what you want to do. Do you, boo boo? But those two things, that's just me. Something that just crosses the line when you're starting to get into chemically created
substance. Yeah.
substance. So, but do you, boo boo? Like I said, do you, boo boo? Now, talking about prison, Candy hit us up with an NYC prosecutor, and
Yeah.
they were saying that they dropped convictions over bribery scandals. Now, this isn't anything new. This is nothing new. This is going on around the country, and in some cases, years.
Yeah.
Where they're saying they are overturning convictions because of different things in the system. But in this case, in New York City, the prosecutor dropped, I believe the number you said was 300, over 300 cases.
Yeah.
And 50 arrests.
Yeah, it's not specifically just I mean, I just put bribery because I was reading the article, and I was at work. So I noticed that, a lot of these cases, and they go, years back into the 90s. A lot of these cricket cops, do, and like we said, this is nothing new. We've seen mob movies all the time with this kind of stuff going on. Cops, we see the cartel just run this,
Yes.
those areas.
Yes.
But bribery, drugs, whatever. They were literally overturning their cases and allowing them to, essentially walk,
Yeah.
or be able to maybe even
Yes.
start, get their jobs back, depending on,
Yes. And
the offense. And I
yeah.
was like, that is just great. They just literally do things in our face. And
Mhm.
I just happen to read stuff, and I'll be like, wait a minute, let me read this again. Did they say that they just gonna let everybody out?
Yeah. And this is the accountability. This is where the accountability part comes in. And let's be clear, because we have some folks out there who are tough on crime, and that's cool. And so you have to understand that in some of these cases, y'all, these people did it. Let's be clear. There's some people who are going to be released who did the crime,
Yeah,
who should be in prison. But you also
yeah,
have to understand it like this: is that one of these cases is a bribery thing. So now it becomes an integrity issue. Would that person been legally caught had something not been in place? You know what I
yeah,
mean? And and cops do their jobs, and maybe some of these were good busts, but
yeah.
due to the fact that the prosecutor the prosecutor's office can't figure out which one is which, how long these guys have been taking money, kickbacks, or any type of compensation for turning another eye. We're talking about sometimes rival dealers paying cops to take out their rivals.
Go bust somebody else up. Yeah,
Yeah, it messes with the integrity of the system. So those who are hard with crime, I get where you're coming from. They may have did it, they may not have did it. Now they're letting them off into the streets, but this is the same system that you put on a pedestal. So you have to understand there is flaws in this system.
yeah,
And me personally, as just a regular smuggler guy, I understand. No, I don't want certain criminals out on the street, but that
no,
means you have to get them off the streets correctly, and how it's in legally. So with these things happening, I kind of agree. You have to sort of throw out cases, even though they might be clear cases, because you don't ever want to give that person an ability to file an appeal. Now, if they're career criminals, guess what? They're gonna do this shit again. And also, we're not some of these people aren't being released, but that part of their charges is being dropped. So you might have
yeah,
somebody in there on, let's just say they're in there for assault, and then you got felony possession. Now the felony possession charge was done by one of the police officers who was bribed. You're still
yeah.
in there you're still going to jail. You're gonna still stay in prison for assault. They're just gonna vacate
That
the
charge. Yeah. So it can be looked at both ways.
Mhm.
I agree, and I also agree. I think that, because we have these people that come in and they say they want to redeem the system, and they want to fix the system or change the system. But we tried to do that. I feel we tried to do that multiple times, and it just doesn't work. I feel like we just need a whole new system. Like, just get rid of some of that shit. Like, just there's no reason why some of these archaic laws that have been in place since the drawing up of the Constitution. There some of this stuff is just old. It's just it doesn't fit our our system anymore. We don't live as a whole the way that we used to. Everything's evolved. Why can't the laws evolve? The law should evolve to fit the
Exactly.
society that we're in now.
Yeah.
And because they don't, like some people get stuck in the system, get lost in the system.
Hmm.
Some people get off scot free.
Hmm.
It just needs a overhaul. Like, it just start from the bottom. Start from the bottom, and
Yeah.
include people that are, be more inclusive of what America is. Instead of just, these 12
Hmm.
people, who are are about to be, out of here in a few minutes, in a few
Yeah.
years.
So
Like,
yeah, it definitely needs to be system needs to be overhauled. I know it's an overwhelming thought and task.
it is.
You just
It
have to
is.
figure out. You
And
just
we
got to
have to
go.
do it.
You have to start going law by law and start looking at the laws that have very social impacts. Um, sort of like with sentencing requirements. It's sentencing the way sentencing is done. It's uneven
It's outdated.
and it's
It's
outdated.
outdated. It's uneven. It doesn't.
Mhm. There has,
It,
has to be a standard,
yeah.
and there has to be a new standard now. Let's make sure that it gets done, y'all. Let us know what you think, as always, on any of our social media platforms, so we can keep this discussion going. Um, also, out of New York, I had a story. Um, a woman one night, she was heading down. She was walking down the street with her friends. Where and a man passing by her snatched a wig off of her head and then proceeded to think it was funny and laugh about it. All this was caught on video. Subsequently, the lawyer, we found out that we find he is a lawyer in New York City that works for a big law firm in New York City, and he's been fired as well as being investigated for assault, which it is. He ripped the wig off of her head for no apparent reason.
Other than just to embarrass her.
Mm-hmm. And in this case, y'all, the video shot, you see the people who were chastising him was the friends he was with.
Yeah.
He appeared to be drunk, which is
Yeah.
no excuse.
No. You don't put your hands on people, especially people you don't know.
Exactly.
What were you thinking about?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What would make you say, "Let me just walk up to this lady and then just take her hair off"? You didn't even know if it was a wig. Like, you could have just. What if you just yanked her head, neck out her head or something?
Exactly.
Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Exactly. And his friends were chastising him. He lost his job.
Good.
Some people are saying good. However, there is a small contingency of people who feel this is part of that whole cancel culture thing, and that even though it was wrong, it shouldn't have cost him his job.
Why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why not? Why not? Now, let's look at it from the point of view where he got fired. Most jobs have this type of behavior clause where they say, do what you want in your private life, just don't make sure it does not reflect badly upon the employer.
Yeah.
So your employer really doesn't care what you do off when you're off the clock.
Yeah, but if that's if you work at McDonald's, you work for a law firm, sir. You work at a law firm. You represent the law firm. Mm-hmm. So no, you can't be out here acting a fool.
Mm-hmm. And like Tony just said, companies do have the right to decide who represents them.
They do.
Right? I do believe, yes, he should lose his job. Now, there are those who are calling for him to lose his license to be a lawyer, his attorney license. I'm not going that far.
I don't know about all of that. Like I don't know if he needs to lose his licensing. Yeah. I mean, I get it because like lawyers are supposed to have, but lawyers are the smarmiest people you'll ever meet. But I don't think he needs to lose his ability to earn income forever. Like, he just needs to, they say. I mean, even though him being intoxicated is not an excuse. And you of all people should know that as a lawyer, like, I'm sure you've tried cases. I don't know what kind of lawyer he is, but I think they all have to kind of study until they go off into what they expect to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
study basic law until you get off into what you really gonna be practicing.
exactly.
So, you know that you can't just this is some form of assault, or some form of harassment or something like
And
that.
he knows that.
And you know that. So there's no excuse for you. Yes, you should
Yes.
absolutely lose your job. But no, I don't think
Yeah.
your ability to
Yes.
earn
Yeah.
income because
Yeah.
you did go to school and you put all the years and money and I don't know,
Yeah. Yes, Tony.
I
It is called the bar card. I didn't know the lingo. It is a bar card, but you're right. He should lose his job because he's representing the company and he made the company in a bad light. But like you said, he should not lose his ability to make a living. Now I do
yeah. You
believe it
can
needs
see
to be.
him.
I do know the New York bar does have a behavior clause. So yes, I believe it needs to go on his record, but I don't
Yeah,
believe he should be disbarred for it. The word
yeah.
disbarred, it came to my head. I know I was high, but not that high.
Yeah,
Uh,
disbarred. Yeah, I don't think he should be disbarred either. I think he should just, it should go on his record, absolutely go in his file. It's gonna probably give him a hard time, which, oh well, you made those decisions. There's consequences.
he's
But
gonna land on his feet. I'm pretty sure he's gonna
yeah,
land.
it's not like he gonna be out here penniless and poor and begging for food. Like you gonna
What's
live.
gonna happen is he's probably already got hired by another law firm. He could have even been hired by a subsidiary of the company he just supposedly got fired from. Because all
Yeah,
sometimes they do, y'all, is they just remove the person from the directory, but
yeah,
they
that's a good.
still there. They
He'll
still
be
be
all
there.
right. You
But yeah,
know,
I
you'll
believe
fare better than this woman probably.
exactly on both sides, y'all. I understand, but he will. He is being held accountable. He lost his job, but y'all can't take his ability away to make his money. Um,
Yeah,
you
I don't
know,
think it's that serious.
and this to me also, you can see some of the institutional institutionally racist trope here, but this is really just person to person, no matter what the race is. Um, just keep your hands off people. Period.
Yeah, what the fuck were you thinking about?
What were you thinking about? And he doesn't care. And people are, don't excuse him because he's a drunk. You don't ever use that excuse because he's a lawyer. He knows better. If anything, he should be held to a higher standard because he is a lawyer.
We're not lawyers and we know better. I'm not a lawyer, but you don't put your hands on a woman, and take her hair off. Like, what is?
Yeah, you don't put your hands on anybody for any reason.
Yeah, for
You
any
know,
reason,
and his
really. But
friends. That's why his friends were chastising him, and they know, in 2023, we know y'all shouldn't be y'all should not be out there acting fools. Because everybody has a camera and everybody is gonna report it. Now, when it comes to what they call this whole cancel culture, I get it.
yeah,
I understand that people need to be held accountable, and they're trying to make it look like this is a bad thing. But all it is folks being held
accountable.
okay, and that's all I want everybody to know. You got to be held accountable, but it also depends on the severity of what this person did.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, and once again, I agree with both sides on this. I disagree with both sides on this. You know what I mean?
you
Don't
can.
take away his
You,
ability
yeah,
to make money, but losing his job has nothing to do with his ability to make a living.
yeah,
So him losing his job is what it is, y'all. Um, now, as we do move on, in some celebrity news, we did find out that Justin Combs, son of Sean P. Diddy Combs,
and
was
love,
arrested
Mr.
for
Buddy Love.
DUI. Was arrested for DUI in California, right?
Yes, in L.A.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
once again, here we are with celebrities, and although it may be right or wrong, and I was just talking about meeting out accountability, I do believe when you have the resources to get a ride, get a driver, have friends drive you home, you should be held to a higher standard
Yeah.
when it comes to DUI. And as everybody knows, irritatingly so, I don't drive when I'm intoxicated. You know what I mean? I drive for a living, and I do not want to get caught out there intoxicated, smoking,
Yeah.
and things like that. But when it comes to I feel it's a responsibility since I do drive people around.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no, that's a very.
I feel I hold myself to a higher standard because of that. So I'm not going to drive. And even back when I was drinking, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I've driven home buzzed before. Buzzed on alcohol, never weed. I've never smoked and driven before.
Yeah.
But we've all driven buzzed, no matter what the drug is. Even though we can handle it, it's not right, y'all. But in the cases in the cases of celebrities, I do feel that they have the ability to just say, "Hey, I need a driver, and let's get me a driver." Now, some folks are talking about how bartenders should be establishments should be held accountable. Let me tell you something.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I walk a fine line with that, only because, if you see somebody's clearly like plastered,
Yes.
and you keep giving them drinks and they leave, like, you can't.
Yeah, but they're told that. But the thing is,
But people are people, and you
it's a
can't
judgment
tell me
call.
as a grown up, But
Yeah,
it's like any to me that goes back to any restaurant can have the right to refuse service. So,
exactly.
and not even
That's what it is.
drinking, like they can just, like, if you don't and fall in with whatever aesthetic or whatever, they don't have to service you, So
Exactly.
I kind
And
of feel both ways about it, because I feel like, I'm grown. I know my limit. You don't tell me when I stop. I'll tell me when I stop, because I know me.
mhm.
But also, too, if I were the bartender and I saw somebody was plastered, I'd be like, nope, I'm probably not going to give you anymore, because if you leave here and you get in an accident and you kill yourself or somebody else, like, that's going to weigh on me
Yeah.
personally and possibly legally,
Yeah, and
So
that's what Tony was just saying in the comments. He was saying we have a responsibility to keep drunk drivers off the road.
yeah,
And
they
that
do.
includes friends, family, bartenders. Bartenders should know, especially one, if a person is a regular, but they also know if a person is lit, cut them off. Cut them
Yeah,
off. Tell them they are not drinking at this bar anymore. Unless it's anything alcoholic, they're not drinking at this bar anymore.
yeah,
And but when that person walks out that door, now if the person is visibly drunk and you know that person is stumbling, you could tell. A bartender should at least say, "Hey, you should find a ride home
or
and
call an Uber.
call an Uber." And I do believe that bars should have funds for this. There's a bar. For those who know, I drive rideshare. There is a bar, I can't remember where it is, where the bartender actually calls these people a ride home.
Mm,
And they do so. Now, I'm not saying there should be required to do so, but that might just be a nice thing to have at your bar. Just like I said, it goes back to being a
okay.
responsible business owner. I'm not saying it should be
Yeah,
required. I'm just
yeah,
saying it would be nice. I'm not talking about it being a requirement or a law. Just it should be nice. But I do believe those who serve alcohol establishments that serve alcohol do have a responsibility to try to prevent it as much as they can, as possibly can, without violating that person's rights, like taking their keys or keeping them indoors. But I would, as a bartender, I would kind of just if I told somebody not to drive and I know they are drunk, yeah, police might get a little anonymous call that such and such just left my bar after they were told not to drive. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's just covering your. I mean, that's covering your business and your establishment. Like I mean, at the end of the day, it's either me and you, big fella. So
And
I
in
get
some
that.
places, and in some places, y'all, that establishment could be held responsible for any victims of that person. So if somebody gets hurt on a driving under the influence, sometimes that person's family or that person themselves has the ability to come back on the establishment where that person got drunk.
Yeah.
But back to what we were saying, Justin Combs was arrested for DUI in LA. I don't know if there was an accident or anything. Now there is a T side of this, whereas his mother is blaming his father, and I believe that's Candace's territory.
Yes. So, I'm scrolling on Instagram, like I do. And I see, I saw that a couple of days ago that he had gotten arrested or what have you. So then she starts blasting all these posts, seemingly aimed at her baby daddy, who is Diddy. And everybody was like, well, your son is almost 30 years old. Like, I mean, he's not a child anymore. Like,
Exactly.
you're talking about his dad's influence, but I'm sure he wants to be like his father. And, we all know Diddy has a Ciroc. He has various liquor lines that's out. And, his son promotes it. So, the question is, well, why, if it was such a problem or you had such a problem with his influence, why are you just speaking out now about it? Like, she's literally blaming everybody. She one of them kind of mamas. Like, don't hold her son accountable for nothing. Just it's everybody else's fault.
Or her son.
Yeah. It's everybody else but his fault that he is a 30-year-old man. It's not like he's an 18-year-old boy. Exactly. I mean, man, young guy, he's almost 30. Like this, he knows he's not supposed to be getting behind the wheel drunk like that, Exactly. And why don't you have drivers? You like Diddy's son.
I can't. Diddy, I don't think Diddy drives around. Son. Yeah. I don't think Diddy drives around anymore. I believe he has a driver. So he should. His father. What influences his father? His father goes out, gets drunk, get in his car. His driver takes him home.
Yeah.
Okay. His son should know, and he has the I shouldn't say funds. He has the resources to get home. And once again, it goes back to what we were just talking about. What about these friends of yours? Why,
Yeah.
Most men don't go out alone. They go out with a group. So your people need to take care of you. But as we're seeing, sometimes your peoples ain't your peoples.
Yeah.
For example, Jay Morant. These videos, he's not posting these videos. His friends are. So, hey, that's another subject. That's a whole other subject.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject.
Like we always say, if he did the crime, I would like him to be held accountable for it. I could care less who influenced him, who might have told him it was cool to do it. I don't give a flying.
Yeah, you could kill somebody else's son. Exactly.
And that's the whole thing. You can kill or hurt somebody else's child. I hate folks who say something like, that's cool. It don't bother me because that's somebody else's child. I get that. But remember, if somebody is out on the road under the influence, trust and believe they're going to get into an accident one time, and it could be your child involved. It could be your relative involved. Not trying to scare y'all. I'm not trying to make y'all live in fear, but understand that, like it was said before, it's everybody's responsibility to make sure people don't drive under the influence. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we here at the Agent Potheads are your favorite under the influencers. You know what I mean? But we also know you got a smoke responsibility. and you got to drink responsibly. So, all the way around, I'm just gonna say, consume responsibly.
Consume responsibly. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Now, speaking of consuming, oh man, we got to get to some stuff. Hey,
Right.
this past week, y'all, I watched um the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie that's in
Okay.
theaters. It started last week. Now,
I heard it was really good.
this is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which introduced Miles Morales to the Sony Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
along with the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Garfield, Holland, those folks,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
We on our fourth Spider-Man.
Yes, but Sony has done a good job of keeping this universe together. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, y'all, I will let you know, it is a game changer.
Is it?
In terms of effects, in terms of story, in terms of soundtrack. I'm gonna let you know it was directed by three different people. So it's three co-directors in this project. And they put out what I would think is a masterpiece. From the art to the story to the music, everything comes together in this simple chaotic beauty, or I should say organized chaos. The visuals alone, just the visuals,
Okay.
is very, very, just for lack of a better word, innovative. It was new. It was bold. You know what I mean? It was a bold move. And the art here, every character had a distinct way of being drawn. They had a distinct way of acting. The movie is good from start to finish. It's paced very well. The movie's almost 2.5 hours long. But it's paced at a way that you're not really worrying about how long it's been. Because it's a fantastic ride. Lots of twists and turns.
Lots of ups and downs.
Lots of action. I can easily say this is better than the first movie. It's better than the first movie. Not a lot of times, because a lot of times sequels sort of lose their bite.
Yeah. They're just like the carriers, like especially like, movies like Black Panther. The second one was just kind of this is where we just catching us up on everything. It wasn't really and they just kind of left on that little cliffhanger. So
to me, it wasn't a sequel. With Wakanda Forever, I don't think it was a sequel as it was another Black Panther story or tale.
Yeah.
It's almost like its own separate movie, just connected to the first, just due to circumstance. Across the Spider-Verse has matured. And I'm going to say that to folks. The first one, Into the Spider-Verse, that was an introduction. We were just learning Miles. Miles was just getting his powers. It was a fun ride with some danger in there. We had some villains. You will see the turn in maturity between Across the Spider-Verse and its predecessor. You're going to see that you're going to get a more darker, you're going to get a more grittier story with Miles Morales, Spider-Man. And it's going to be a wonderful ride. I suggest if you do watch this movie, you do watch it in a theater.
Okay.
Just because I do recommend you be medicated, because I would have loved to been medicated watching this movie. The visuals are fucking awesome. It is a game-changing film. There are cameos. There's different callbacks and call-outs. Y'all, Spider Buggy is in the movie. There is a
Spider
buggy. Spider buggy. There, let me explain. Back in the 70s, 60s and 70s, late 60s, early 70s, they had cartoons where their cars sort of came to life. Their cars became themselves.
Oh, I remember. It looks like it looks like one of them Volkswagen buses.
Buggy. It looks like a buggy. And they called it Spider Buggy. Spider Buggy was in it. We seen Spider Buggies. We seen a lot of good things in this movie. It's one of those movies you will have to watch twice, or you can watch twice, and you'll see different things both times. I guarantee you. You'll see different things. The acting was good. The scripting was good. The direction was good. The visuals off the fucking chain. I gave it 5 stars. I gave it 5 stars.
Well, I saw one, but I'm gonna wait till next week to preview it because I know we running short on time. So I saw Cleopatra on Netflix, and it had me balling.
All right.
So I just say that, and then
And I'm gonna let y'all know next week I will have my review for The Flash. It's not out yet. It'll be out next week. So definitely tune in next week. I did see The Flash last night, and I will share how I felt about that movie next week. But most definitely, we are going to check that out. Now, one of the things I was supposed to get to Arby's and grab that Wagyu burger, but I had already this morning, so by time lunchtime had come around, I couldn't get over there. But the other day, I did go to Freddy's, and I think I spelled Freddy's wrong. Excuse me, I spelled it wrong. I did spell it wrong. It is Freddy's with a Y.
Oh, okay.
Most definitely, but please forgive me. Y'all get the thing. Freddy's is a chain here. I don't know if it's in other places, but it is here in Las Vegas. It's kind of new to Las Vegas. They got stores all over the city. They have a new burger called the Steak Burger Stacker, which is your triple smash burger, cheese, what they call fry sauce. They have this fry sauce they have. The fry sauce is used instead of mayo or secret sauce, as well as lettuce, pickles, and onions. Okay. The burger is good. Burger is good. It's a nice smash burger. It's got that crust. Those who like burgers, for a smash burger, y'all, those who are into smash burgers, I'm really a juicy burger type person. But I do like smash burgers, In-N-Out style burgers. But I do like the fact that they have that crust, that nice little burn they get from the grill. Freddy's does that well. The Freddy's I go to, which is on Charleston and Decatur, they get that crust down very well. So you get that bite.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. I've never gone there, and I passed that a million times.
They got steak burgers and what they call steak burgers and frozen custard.
Freddy's. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what? I've been there, but I've been there in North Carolina with my daughter.
Okay.
And it was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I did give it did I give it 4? I believe I gave it 4 blunts.
Okay.
Let me get my Munchies review up here. And yes, Tony, you're right. You do need to come back as a producer because I got way too much shit going on and I'm high. But I did give it 4 blunts.
Okay.
And it was good. But it was a little, when I say it was dry, when I meant it was dry, it wasn't dry because of the meat. It was dry because the fry sauce just wasn't enough.
It wasn't, just went in absorbed in the bread, sound like.
Yeah, because once you got it, like once you got the lettuce on there, it sort of got intertwined with the lettuce, and sometimes it just didn't hit the burger in the bite.
Yeah.
You sort of got like it was almost like eating a grinder sandwich where the sauce is in the lettuce like a salad. So I did have to put more sauce on it that did make it better. That's why I did give it 4 blunts. Tony said him and his wife finally had Five Guys, and
Okay.
he gave Five Guys 5 blunts. And I contend to, as someone who's gone to Five Guys, Tony, you are right. I would give them
Really?
I would give them 5. I would give them a 5 blunts. So have you
I
been to
need
Five
to try
Guys?
them again because they taste like they want to be like in and out to me. I don't know.
Well, the thing is with Five Guys, you can make your burger your way. Everything is included. If you wanted to put bacon, included. You're not paying extra for bacon. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good. Because I was gonna say that's like what's that other one where you make it comes a la carte, the one on the strip.
Strip burger, or is it Shake Shack? I can't remember.
Not Tommy Burger, not what's that?
You not
It used to be in the the Texas
Fat Burger.
Fat Burger, yeah.
Yeah, Fat Burger has gone down in quality. Fat Burger has gotten way too expensive, and the food quality has suffered.
Yeah.
I used to love Fat Burger. Don't get me wrong. Those who remember when the Texas was here, there was nothing like on a payday going out with your friends, having drinks, heading over to well, they had Club Pod.
They little food court, yeah. They had Panda, I think too. They had a little food court over there by the
One of the things if you partied late into the night, the only thing open when you were leaving the Texas was the cafe, which was packed, and Fat Burger. And you would sit down at Fat Burger, and you would sit there, and just Fat Burger was already expensive. Don't get me wrong, Fat Burger
was already expensive,
but
and it's a la carte.
Yeah, it is a la carte, but so is In and Out too. Just so y'all know, you don't get a discount for buying the drink, the fries, and the burger all together. You add it up, it all comes out. Same here with Fat Burger. Fat Burger gives you a nickel. You probably save a nickel getting a combo.
Yeah.
But Fat Burger used to be good. It was just greasy enough. It hit right. But now, the last time I had it, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed with it. And I order the same thing every time. I have since, trust me, y'all, I know I can afford to miss a meal, but I can't eat as much as I used to. I used to be able to take down a king burger, onion rings, a shake, all sorts of shit. Whatever they had, I used to just try to take it down in one sitting. Now I can barely get it. I don't even order a king burger anymore. I don't even think they have the king burger. I think it's called like a triple XL now. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress, y'all. Back to the steak burger. It was good. Tony, you threw me off a little. But now you tried. Have you tried your little snacks? Have you tried your snacks yet?
Oh yeah, I've been sitting here like low key eating them. You know, like because I do got the munchies and I am hungry and I'm trying to think of where I'm gonna eat tonight. It might be steak and shake, but it's like a little like.
Oh, you opened it up and everything.
Yes, it's like a little fudge bar, but like a sandwich, and it's soft.
And she busted it open for y'all.
That's wild. It's a little filling, little caramel, cream, and they got a little crunch, little pieces of like little toffee in it.
Okay.
So,
now, what would you give it?
I'll give it a 5.
Gave it 5 months for the Hostess snacks. What are they called? Kaz bars? Kaz bars. Okay. See, if I had a producer, he would be able to put that in real quick.
Right.
He said, "Looks good to me. Gonna bring me one." Yeah. I missed the snack table too, y'all, but it's coming back soon.
Right.
The snack table is coming back soon. So we can yell at Tony for stealing snacks while we're trying
while we're
trying
trying
to do
to.
the show. But the snack table is coming back soon. For those who don't know what the snack table is, if you look at our intro video, it always panned over the
That's the
snack
snack
table
table.
that we used to have in front of us when we were in studio. But we will be in studio.
These are the
Soon
little
again.
packages. That's how big they are.
Now you said you went to turned up a notch kitchen.
So I went to a phone pool party this past weekend. That was lit. Shout out to my boo cat. She invited us, me and my friends,
Mm-hmm.
uh, out to this party, and one of the ladies, Tiffany Herman, I don't know if she's watching, but her and her partner, they have this kitchen. They cook for different events, and it's called Turned Up a Notch Kitchen. And I had what's called a walking taco because I had already started my drinking. And see, I said, let me eat something because, I'm not going to stop drinking. So
Uh-huh.
let me eat something to just, so I don't get too faded too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I had what's called a walking taco. So it's basically like Doritos
Mm-hmm.
with all the stuff on
Mm-hmm.
top, and you just eat it like nachos,
Uh-huh.
basically. And it's very, very delicious. It
It's
hit
in
the
the bag,
spot.
right?
Yeah, you can get. No, it's not in a bag. It's in like a little fry thing, one of them fried
Okay. All right.
little things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you can get chicken or beef.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she also made tacos too. I think we're doing it again this weekend, so I'll probably have some tacos to review. Tacos was
Mm-hmm.
hitting. Everybody loved them tacos.
And you gave it five
So
blunts.
I gave it 5 blunts. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I did. So I'm gonna
Now,
tell her, Tiffany girl, shouted y'all out. But yeah, it was very delicious. And yeah, if
well,
you need a caterer for an event.
the funny part about that is, walking tacos used to be the way I learned what walking tacos was you opened the bag of Doritos, put in all the taco shit, grabbed a fork, and was on
Yeah,
your way.
yeah,
Now they sort of made it look like some sort. Now they make it like, oh, that's just nachos. That's like
yeah.
that's like the way people call burritos wraps now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's you know what it is, but
When it's in a boat, yeah, I get it. When it's in a boat, it looks like nachos. But I get the walking taco concept. I just wouldn't want mine in a boat. I would want mine in the Doritos
in the
bag
bag.
or some sort of thing, so it actually looks like what I grew up knowing was a walking taco,
Right.
which I'm pretty sure has some sort of gel origins. I'm not gonna say nothing,
Probably, yeah.
but it
You
might have
know.
gel origins. You
I,
know.
I would say that we see chilaquiles in there and all of that out the bag. So yeah, like yeah, well, but it was very delicious.
Uh-huh.
Fucked it up
Exactly. Now,
and
you gave
convinced
that
of my
five
drink.
blunts that was turned up a notch kitchen. Next week, y'all, I hope to have some good stuff for you. Because we're always out in these streets. We're always eating shit. um, we love to eat. Obviously, if y'all seen our promo pictures, we we
You
don't
see, I was
miss
eating
meals.
while I was talking. I was hungry, y'all. Sorry. I usually don't like to eat on camera like that, but
Yeah, we don't miss meals around here, y'all. Not at
mm-mm.
all. All right. Now, before we get out of here, y'all, as always, I want to thank you for watching, but also we are here. If you are having any issues in your life
Yeah,
and you feel like you need help, make sure you call someone or talk to someone. You can also dial or text 988 for the suicide and crisis lifeline. Here in Las Vegas, you can dial 211 from your phone. Most cities where you live have a number that you can call when you are in crisis. Please find out what that number is, share it with your friends. And if you ever need issues, if you ever have issues or you need that help, call someone, like it's been said, we rather talk with you and not about you. So definitely do that, y'all. And like I said before, I want to thank you for watching and smoking with us tonight.
Yes, guys.
Make sure
Thank
you hit
you.
us up with all your show ideas. We are the Aging Potheads. We are here every Wednesday, 7-ish till about 8-ish. Depending on what we got to say. We're going to smoke. We're going to get high. We're going to get off the rails sometimes. But we do appreciate the love from everyone out there for joining us today. I seen a lot of folks come in. They didn't comment, but I saw y'all. I can see
Let
y'all.
me shout out Julian real quick. He gave me an oil change at the Valvoline on Nellis and Charleston. I told him to watch tonight because I was telling him about the show. So if he popped in, thank you. Thank you for my oil change. And thank you for my coupon too.
Exactly. Now with the oil changes at Valvoline, I suggest you go on Groupon. They always have a steep discounted thing for Valvoline oil changes. Valvoline I like because you don't have to get out the fucking car.
That's why I love them. I pull right on up and pull right on out. Yeah.
And they're not really big on the upsell.
Right.
So
yeah, they not. And he gave me a 25. He gave me like $20 off.
So definitely, y'all, we want to catch y'all next time. Wow. Yeah, I feel honored. Showed it all. Like, hey, do what you got to do to get that oil change.
Right.
Because oil changes is like $75 now, y'all.
Yeah, my car they're like $80, $90. Go ahead.
So definitely, y'all. Until next we meet, meditate and medicate. And as always, my friends, stay lifted. Good night. See you next time. Oh, wrong hand. See you next time.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.